See if this works. All right, good morning, everybody. I'll give a few minutes so everybody log in. We're doing a daily brew from Tallahassee. Morning, everybody. We're going to go live here in a second. Hey, big shout out to Hotel Duval. Okay, they hooked me up. The management reached out to me and got me a room for 3 nights right here in downtown. The Hotel Duval autograph collection. So thank you so much. I even got a card from the chef. Said dinner's on him. They have a Shula's restaurant, but I don't know if I'll be in the eating mood or not. This hurricanes change, right? All right, so this is a remote live. Mike's from Mike's Twitter page. What's going on? I'm storm chasing. Don't know where I'm chasing yet. We're watching this thing unfold. Lots of emotions are out there right now. Lots of emotions are out there. Things slowly. Okay. It does appear that this thing has wobbled east. However, hurricanes have a history of wobbles. Okay, upper level winds patterns don't change significantly when we don't have a frontal line involved. But there's so much going on in the upper atmosphere with an approaching low, a low, a front that we've seen right now. It rained all night here in Tallahassee, and I'm thinking, this Gulf Gulf storms have a history of going more east. So we're watching close. All right, we got a new NAC update in about an hour and a half. We have to stick to their guidance, their cone, and go from there. But this thing is exploding. I'm not hyping. A lot of people think it was a bus forecast. It's up to a category 2. This is current satellite. It's got an eye. There's a big ball of convection rotating around. We're seeing tornado warnings, tornado warnings, tornado warnings already. That has not changed. Uh, it's expected. It was expected to be 130 miles an hour at 1 p.m. Okay, I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, this thing's a bust. It was supposed to be a Cat 3 by now." No, the NHC forecast from yesterday expected a 130-mile-an-hour hurricane at 1 p.m. So we're gonna watch this thing. You know, nobody should be cheering for a 4. Nobody should be cheering for a 3. Nobody should be cheering for a 5. Right? We have to keep it real. This thing is getting that look, and it's over the warmest waters of the Gulf right now with that loop current we talk about all the time. So that's what's going on right now. That's current look. Look at satellite radar. There's tornado warnings popping up everywhere. The tornado chances are tremendous today through Florida, through Georgia, through South Carolina. They're going to continue to North Carolina tomorrow. We're going to have rotating storms here out over the Atlantic. We're going to have a lot of folks wondering where the heck that's coming from. There's a lot of stories unraveling here from this system. Okay, obviously, number one story is the eye. We're in Tallahassee right now. So that's why I'm cautious until we see this 11 o'clock advisory. I'm sitting right here in my truck because I don't know where I'm going to go. I know we're going to have a lot of significant weather at home, but I'm watching this thing in real time. I got a 10 o'clock radio hit with Dr. Phil. I got 3 Fox interviews today, and I got one with CNN tonight. So I got a lot cooking today, and doing your daily brew here, keeping everybody informed. But the cone here that we're looking at, it's solid. So the number one main story that everybody should be concerned about is where that eye is going. The eye is going to have the biggest winds, category 3, category 4, who knows? That's the number one concern. That'll have the most. So hurricane changing impacts. No, there's no doubt about it. This is not an Idalia. It's stronger at landfall. It's stronger than Debbie. Stronger than strongest hurricane of the season for continental U.S. Okay, that's impacts number one. Focus on that eye. The shifts don't mean anything for anybody in the peninsula. It doesn't mean anything for the folks in the Carolinas. I have never seen Georgia under all blue and all red. The whole state of Georgia is under a tropical storm warning at least, and hurricane warnings deep. We got hurricane warnings in Alabama. The reason being, this thing is going to be strengthening at landfall. That's the worst case scenario for any tropical system. A strengthening hurricane at landfall pushes those impacts farther inland than a weakening system. So hurricane warnings all the way smack dab in the middle part of Georgia. That's story number two. Story number two is Georgia power outages. We're going to see strong winds coming off that Atlantic. We got a big tornado threat for Georgia and South Carolina today, along with the Florida Peninsula. So story number two is the inland effects away from Florida. All the focus is on Florida right now. We got South Carolina, we got Georgia, and then we got North Carolina even on Friday. Okay, so story number two is holy crap, it's not just a Florida storm. Story number three is this storm surge. Okay, numbers have never verified in the Tampa Bay area that they're predicting right now. Okay, we saw 4 foot, we saw 5 foot during Ada, we saw 5 foot, 6 foot with Idalia. They're expecting probably 8 foot. As a matter of fact, I need to see these current tide charts. These tide charts are usually not wrong. Um, I don't think enough big a deal is being made out of the potential surge that we're going to see in Pinellas County, Tampa Bay. This tide chart has not changed in 3 or 4 days. These tide charts were showing 4 to 5 feet for Ada, and there were literally almost 1,000 homes flooded during Ada. 351, I think I counted or read in Madeira Beach. Idalia, I think I read Kathy Perkins. Them were saying 1,500 homes were flooded from Idalia. They didn't predict numbers like this for Idalia. They definitely didn't predict numbers like this for Ada. This is not hype. This is real predictions for Clearwater Beach. Okay, if this verifies, none of y'all in your lifetime would have seen will see surge this high. Okay, we've had predictions this high from Ian and Irma, but those storms went to our south in Tampa Bay area. So that is still strong today. I didn't even look until just now. St. Petersburg is on the other side of the bay, and it's 9 foot too. That's going up into Tampa Bay. That's going towards Tampa. That's going towards Oldsmar. All right. They put tiger dams around Manatee Memorial yesterday. That's my hometown. That's where I was born and raised. Okay, well for till fifth grade. If that doesn't tell you the state's taking this serious and putting tiger dams around hospitals in Manatee County, they believe this surge is going to be something that I don't think is being talked about enough. So if you're in an evacuation area, please consider evacuating. I used to not be that person. I used to say, we can, water is number one in hurricanes. Water is what you get away from. Okay, winds I'm storm chasing. Winds are winds. Winds are bad. Water, when you decide sometimes to evacuate, it might be too late because you might have one way in, one way out. And if that one way out's covered with water, you're stuck. And you're climbing to your attic. Okay, stories from Ian were like Katrina. People in their attics breaking through their roofs to get, to drier ground. So if you're in an evacuation area, I'm seeing numbers that aren't changing. Take it as serious, okay? I've never seen numbers this high for our area. Other stuff, like I was saying, and then the third holy crap is the tornadoes. We're already seeing 10, 12. I don't even know how many tornado warnings we've had so far. They're just going to continue throughout the day. They're going to continue up towards Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina as this system approaches. So tornado warnings are real. They're not often verified, but they do indicate strong storms. So this is going to continue throughout the day. When our storm passes, wherever you're at, horizontally, then we get the backside of the storm, and we still have feeder bands coming in off that Gulf of Mexico. So it's a weird deal. Right now, they're coming in west to east. As the storm passes, they're going to come in from the south and then the southwest. So, um, there you go. Get called. That was Fox. Oh my God. So there you go. That's that. Other graphics I wanted to talk about. We talked about the flooding. We talked about the potential threats. Here's the flooding map. It's pink, extremely rare flooding. Pink, I can tell you, usually means we're gonna have somebody with some pretty serious water. Red, usually it's pretty bad. Now we got pink. Pink's the worst it goes. And that includes a large part in the mountains here, Appalachians. So, not everybody that watches Mike's Weather Pages lives in Florida. We have a lot of folks that are going to be affected by this hurricane that are not on the coast. It's going to be rain and floods, okay? Again, going back to power outages, you mix in 75, 80 mile an hour winds in the higher elevations, it's even stronger. the farther north you go, you add in all this rain, man, we're gonna have a lot of trees down. I just, from experience, I think we're gonna see widespread power outages like nobody's expecting because of this lingering rains with these winds that are pushing north. Most of the time, these hurricanes go out to sea. They don't go straight up to through Georgia. And here's these surge numbers. They have not come down. 15 to 20 feet expected. We'll get new updated maps at 11. About an hour and 15 minutes, maybe 10:45. They start maybe putting them out there. We're going to see read discussions from National Hurricane Center. We'll see if the cone shifts east. If it doesn't, then everything stays the same. But we got to keep looking at these possible trends. Latest tracks here on tropical tidbits. You would think you'd see an outlier. You don't. So taking a page from Mike's weather page, don't make knee-jerk reactions. There's nothing showing that this is going to hit Tampa Bay as a direct hit. I know I keep saying Tampa. There's millions of people live in Tampa, millions of people that follow me. I'm not diminishing the effects for anybody else, but 80% of my comments right now are people thinking it's going to hit Tampa or West Central Florida. And I'm just saying, let's wait for an hour. Let's see what the NHC says. Could be a wobble, could be a wiggle. They do that. We have seen that tight consensus. I've never seen anything go outside this. We talk about ensembles. With Ian was different. We had a split in thinking. We had the GFS North, we had the Euro in Fort Myers area. Okay. There were models that suggested we need historically, if we didn't have models, I would say Gulf always shifts east. But now that we have models, historically, a day before the day of landfall, they usually aren't wrong. So it's a tough one. I'm telling you, it's gonna, the main thing, it's strong, it's intensifying, it's gonna rapidly intensify. That has that look. That hasn't changed. Timing hasn't changed. Tracks haven't changed. Okay. But we watch things in real time. And Mother Nature is tricky, okay? And I will say, I had to make a post this morning about that east look because you can't deny it. If you go to zoom.earth here, let me see, that's the 8 o'clock. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a little, I'm not saying good, bad, anything. I want the track to verify. I don't want anybody level of shock happening right now. So maybe a little shift, a little east. I fell into that trap, but I see the 8 o'clock advisory here, and it wiggled back a little bit more in that cone. The cone. They're usually 100% on the storm and the cone, especially the day of. So I read the comments. I feel the tension. I feel the nerves. I feel the ones that are saying it's a bust. I feel the ones telling everybody. And then there's talk about another hurricane. Listen, let's not talk about that. Okay. I might have lost internet. The internet hiccups. Let me see if I went offline. All right, if you just popping back, I think I got an internet hiccup. 1 minute. Yeah, I'm back live again. Darn it, I hate it when it does that. Well, I'm back. Nothing's really different. I'm gonna sign off anyways. So, I am gonna show you the latest intensity models though, just to show you the latest HWRF is showing 935. The latest HMON was 941. Latest Haas model here on Helene is showing a 956. I mean, that would be good news. That would be Cat 3, but still not worst case scenario. And Haas B here is a 951. So, major hurricane, no doubt. Cat 4, very possible. These are Cat 4 pressures. So, and you can see the tracks of these are just as important as the intensity. We're not seeing a Tampa turn. So, trust the models, trust the guidance, trust the spaghetti models, trust the wiggles, trust the wobbles. The effects are the same no matter what. Let's not get caught up emotionally, thinking that things are, any less impactful for the Pinellas side, uh, or where I live, west, peninsula side. I meant to say actually, you're going to see the effects regardless, and you're going to see the effects north. And let me show you these storm prediction center maps real quick. Very rare to see this for today, but we got orange, which is an enhanced. That is a large area. North Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. Those are pretty high chances here that we could see tornadoes. Yellow, very large area in yellow. Usually yellow is about maxed out for hurricanes. That's a large area they can see possible tornadoes today. So we're going to see tornado watches extend northward. They're out there right now currently. We're going to see more through the night. They're going to extend all the way to North Carolina. And then tomorrow, Friday, we even have a large area in Carolina coming in off the Atlantic. So 2 days. This thing is going to continue through the night. It's going to bring storms tomorrow farther north. Okay, this is one of those big impacts that aren't often talked about enough. Is way outside of the center. So hopefully some of that made sense. I promised I would go live from Tallahassee. I'll be storm chasing later. I got a couple of TV gigs here in the morning. I'm sitting back. I'm going to wait till that 10 o'clock advisory. I'm going to post the 10 o'clock advisory when it comes out and sit, anxiously waiting to see what they say. And we know it's getting stronger. It looks like it's getting stronger. And unfortunately, it's developing an eye. So, and it's getting bigger again. So, man, don't focus. That I think everybody's heard it enough. It is such a big system, it does not matter as far as effects. It does matter who gets that eye wall for the big effects. Okay, if that makes sense. So, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live throughout the day, so just keep it tuned here on YouTube, Facebook, X, and we'll be out and about somewhere.